was impressive. I think it's going to be a fun walk. I dare you to walk like that. The whole way.
We're Chris and Melissa. Back in July 2021, we sold our house, loaded up our truck, and set out on a slow travel adventure, searching for great food and fun times to share. Right now, we're living in Kinsale, Ireland. Today, we're taking Kinsale Scilly Walk to Charles Fort, home of one of Ireland's most famous ghosts. Along the way, we'll be stopping for lunch at a spot recommended to us by a local. It's time to take the Scilly Walk. Are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. As you can see, Kinsale is crazy busy today. It's a Wednesday in August. I think the trail will be a little less occupied, because this is all about views, brews, and some history too.
How many kilometers is this walk?
I don't know. I know it's supposed to take about 40 minutes.
40 minutes one way?
To the Bulman, where we're going to have lunch, and then another like 10-15 minutes to get to Charles Fort, the history.
Okay.
And then probably 15 minutes to and another 40 minutes back.
She's truly a daredevil, truly a daredevil.
Chris doesn't like bridges.
That was scary. Here's a tip. Look for the signs near the Spaniard Pub to help you find and stay on the Scilly Walk.
Up ahead is Charles Fort, our ultimate destination for the day.
I've read that you can sometimes see seals, and you can actually maybe see a dolphin once in a while.
While on this walk?
Yes, just in the ocean, not over here in the land. I think it's really cool to be walking along a path that people have probably walked along for well over 1,000 years. Isn't that amazing?
You think 1,000 years?
1,000 years, yeah.
That is amazing.
It is.
Behind this fencing, there is an unstable structure. We'll need to watch out.
Always a danger.
Brian, our tour guide, who mentioned this path and said we had to go on it, did warn us that there's a bit of a hill that's quite steep before you reach Bulman Bar. It's a bit of a killer, and that you'll have received your reward when you get to Bulman to get to order up some lunch.
The problem is we don't know for sure if this is the hill, because to me it doesn't look that steep. It looks like a hill. It's going to be hard, but it doesn't look that steep.
We've been fooled by hills in North Vancouver before.
That we have.
What's your assessment now, Chris?
It might be. It might be the steep hill.
Right, Charles Fort is that way. I think the Bulman is as well.
We've had more than one local recommend the Bulman Bar to us, and it's on some of the best of lists. So we decided to test it out for ourselves. So every restaurant we've gone into, they all have fish and chips, and I haven't had fish and chips yet. So today I went with fish and chips.
I'm doing a lovely chicken curry, Jamaican chicken curry with mango chutney or chutney. I think Bulman Bar is fantastic, don't you?
Yes, it was cozy. I don't know if I'd eat fish and chips all the time, but it was good fish.
I had the Jamaican chicken curry. It was excellent. It had some spice, but it was like a slow heat that you didn't really notice. The server had recommended it, and she was spot on with that recommendation. It was delicious, so comfy. Like, if it were a rainy day, I would have gobbled the whole thing up. It's a little hot, so I ate a little less, but Chris tasted it.
Yeah, I had to fill in, and I did, and it was delicious. So, thumb up.
Here it is, Charles Fort. It's named after King Charles II. It's a star-shaped fort built between 1677 and 1682 as an English coastal defense against foreign naval forces.
So that's why it's built here, protecting those from an invasion of the French or the Dutch. That's what they were afraid of. So it's just kind of like closing the back door for England. So in case there'd be an invasion here, that people would team up with rebels in Ireland and attack England via the back door. That's that way. So that's why this fort is built here. It takes 4 years to build it, which seems a very short space of time.
Charles Fort has been through a lot in its history. It has suffered defeat after enduring a 13-day siege in the Williamite War. It was also burned out by anti-treaty forces during the Civil War of the 1920s. Fortunately, it was sturdy enough to withstand it all, and now it's an amazing place to visit and enjoy.
Only the governor could use that gateway then, and he'd have access out to the sea, really, or an escape route, or whatever we want to do. But
Our guide showed us the governor's house where the White Lady once lived. Here are the basics. On her wedding night, she wanted flowers from the bottom of the battlements. Her new husband wanted her to have them, and it all led to a case of mistaken identity. Her father, the Charles Fort commander, shot his new son-in-law dead. In grief, she threw herself into the icy ocean. The White Lady has been said to be haunting Charles Fort ever since.
This was cool. Soldiers used to sharpen their swords on this very wall. Check out the marks.
We were just in Charles Bastion, which is where the White Lady is said to have jumped to her death. Not just said to have, she did.
She did.
And there are rumors that white images might show up in your film if you take pictures or video.
So just, look behind here. Do you see one? Okay.
Also in the governor's mansion, or the governor's house. Not mansion.
Yeah. Interesting, though, is this area is usually not open, but for some odd reason, it's open for us.
Well, it's open today, and I wonder if that has to do with it being August 10th, which is the anniversary of this place getting burnt.
Maybe. Or another interesting thing we learned is that I believe in like 1922, they just opened this up and nobody ran this, nobody did anything, and anybody could just come in here and do whatever. And like in the 60s, like hippies lived in the barracks where the soldiers used to live, and just anybody could do anything.
The doors are shut now, but I don't imagine that it would be comfortable lodging. Another thing that we've learned is how critical Kinsale and the Battle of Kinsale was to all of Irish history. Had the Battle of Kinsale been won by the Irish and the Spanish, it would be a Catholic country. It wouldn't be split up. There wouldn't be the 6 counties in the north.
It sorely affected Irish history, and we've heard it from numerous people giving tours. It's just
Cromwell was a jerk.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oliver Cromwell.
He's one of the most hated here in Ireland. There was so much history, I don't even know what to do.
Our heads are spinning. There are books I want to read. The Williamite Wars. I had no idea about what that was. And I took world history.
Yeah, William of Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him, but now I have.
We're about to walk up Devil's Bastion, formerly known as Kinsale Bastion. We have learned a ton this afternoon. We totally lucked out by getting here at about 2 o'clock. A gentleman named Patrick gave us a wonderful tour. he told us the story of how the Devil's Bastion got its name. Gentleman, was a card player, liked to cheat a little bit, also decided, I believe, to trick his pals because, well, he needed to get out of the hot water he'd gotten himself into, I believe. At any rate, he thought it would be fun to play a trick when he saw a goat's head in the window. And so he went running out and screaming that he had just seen the devil.
It was
The devil was in the bastion.
Yeah, but it was just a goat peeking in his head in the window.
Yes. There are refreshments available here. We're going to go into the tea house. It's not always open. Today it is. And an important thing to know is that you have to have cash.
It's super interesting to come to a place that's older than the country where you're from. And the history that goes back so far, it's awesome. It really is. Very glad we're here.
Yes. Thumb up a bump.
Definitely a thumb up above.
Charles Fort, amazing.
It's a must-see. Definitely a must-see.
And now it's time to take on some brews.
Yeah, because it's the last thing. It's part of the walk. Everybody says you got to go here. So we're going to go there. Let's try it out.
This Scilly Walk has been remarkable. We're going downhill right now. I don't think we have any more uphill. It was a bit of a workout on the way up.
It was, but it was scenic, beautiful, peaceful.
It gave the views it promised.
Yes. It's a thumb up above, for sure. Now it's time for that pint.
Time for the brews portion.
Whoop, whoop. I had to get a Murphy's Stout. It's been brewed in nearby Cork since 1856.
To me, Rockshore's cider tastes more refreshing than sweet, which I really like.
Having a cold pint outside the Spaniard was a perfect way to end the day. I give it a solid thumb up above.
Me too. Cheers.